Morning, just me today. Going on a walk around Rosedale Abbey and generally Rosedale. It's a relatively easy walk, but there comes a point where even though it's 12 miles, you're following, once you gain height, old railway track beds, but once you get to a certain point you're a bit committed, and the only way is really basically to continue forward in your walk. So it is easy, but because of its remoteness, you're very much committed because there's no roads up here. You're just following the railway track bed. So join us and we'll show you some of the things you can see along the way, including some old mine workings and kilns and things like that. You can probably guess by the flatness of around here that trains are involved. This is now us up on the railway that goes around more or less the top of Rosedale, servicing the mines and kilns around here. So we're on the level now, and it's a lot easier underfoot than it was earlier. I've done this walk a couple of times, and one of the challenging aspects of the walk, or depressing aspects of the walk, is you can always see the end point from where you begin. So we're walking one side of the valley and the rest of the walk is on the other side of the valley. But that side of the valley is a good 6 miles away if we follow this walk. Just start to see the big kilns that would have serviced this valley. The iron ore that was mined throughout this valley would have been fed in the top, and then the iron extracted out the bottom, I believe. One of the things as well is that as technology has evolved over the years, this entire valley would have been full of spoil, but as iron ore extraction techniques improved, somebody bought the rights to take away all the spoil and extract more iron from it. So what you see now is slightly more pristine than you would have seen at the start of the 20th century. But here you can see this sort of like a iron model of what these kilns would have looked like, and you can see directly in front of it, just here, what would have been the spoil from the kilns. And if you look behind you now, there's nothing, because technology moved on and you could extract more iron ore from the ironstone than you could when these kilns were first put in place. So we're at the furthest extent of the walk. You can still see snow on the ground from about 2 weeks ago, when up here there would have been at least a good foot of snow. You have to take my word for it. But in July that is a cracking view, with the heather in full bloom and leaves on trees, but right now it's pretty clagged in. But this is the furthest point of the walk. From here we turn back in towards Rosedale. So what you see around here is effectively what's left of the Sheriff mine. The mining around here was for iron ore, or ironstone actually, ironstone, which then went to the kilns, and then the kilns created iron ore, and then the iron ore was then shipped out via the railway to Middlesbrough. So this is the top of the Sheriff's pit, and here they operated a thing called drift mining. So effectively they cut in from the valley side horizontally, and then from there They dug a vertical shaft down, and all the ironstone was taken out via the vertical shaft up to the level of the railway. So we're coming very close to the end of our walk. If you carry straight on here, you'll get to the kilns at Chimney Bank, which is a very, very steep road as well, which leads back into Rosedale Abbey as well. But we're going to go left here and start to pick our route down off the hill. Now, it's a bit steep in places, so I would always recommend, if you're doing this walk, do the walk anti-clockwise, so you've got the steep bit at the end and you're going downhill, you're not having a sharp pull uphill at the start of the walk. I always get a little bit waylaid on this leg of the walk, so if you're struggling, you just hit this fence in front of you and go left when you get to the fence, and that's probably the best bit of advice I could offer if you're trying to find your route here. It's one of those things, having walks around the railway line up in the high moorland, you are followed by the sound of grouse and the calls as we get lower down and as we approach Rosedale Abbey again, so grouse give way to pheasants in the woodlands that we're walking through just now.
If you're interested in finding out more about Rosedale and its past, we would recommend Rosedale Mines and Railways, published by the Scarborough Archaeological and Historical Society. If you've liked this video, don't forget to give us a like, a follow or subscribe, or even better still, come book a holiday with us and go on the walk on your own.